Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us virtually for today's media availability as we kick off the 2021 construction season. As we get started, can everyone please make sure their cameras are off and their microphones are muted? We're joined today by Adam Laughlin, Deputy City Manager, Integrated Infrastructure Services, to provide an update on 2021 construction plans for capital projects. Minister Rick McIver was unable to attend today's event. I want to let you know that today's Google event will be recorded. This is so we can provide a copy to you as well as send this recording to any reporters who were unable to attend. Once Adam is done speaking, we'll open the floor to questions from reporters. Please make sure you keep your phones muted until we call on you for a question.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for joining me today on the call, and thanks to those who are watching on the live stream. I'm Adam Laughlin. I'm the Deputy City Manager of the Integrated Infrastructure Services Department at the City of Edmonton. The City of Edmonton acknowledges the traditional land on which we are gathered today is on Treaty 6 territory. We would like to thank the Indigenous people whose ancestors' footsteps have marked this territory for centuries, such as the Cree, the Dene, the Saulteaux, the Nakota Sioux, and Blackfoot people. We acknowledge this as the Métis homeland and the home of the largest concentration of Inuit south of the 60th parallel. It is a welcoming place for all peoples who come together from around the world to share Edmonton as home. Together, we call upon all of our collective honored traditions and spirits to work in building a great city for today and future generations. We're standing here today in Blatchford, which is the site of the former Edmonton Municipal Airport, and we're here talking a bit about Blatchford and how it's taking shape. But we're also here to share with you some of the other highlights from the construction season that's planned for 2021, which is officially underway. We're here because this is one of the 268 projects worth over a combined $1 billion that will be spent on capital construction in the city that we love. The 268 projects that the city will be managing this construction season will boost our local economy and employ 13,000 people. And because of closely followed safety standards on work sites, construction has been able to continue during the pandemic. Through these projects, we also work with more than 300 local and Edmonton-based companies. These companies and their teams are our partners in city building, and they work hard to help us improve our city. We have ambitious goals this season, but we've done it before. 2020 was a major construction year for the City of Edmonton, and we'll do it again, and we'll do it safely. Over 90% of the city's capital projects are on budget, and close to 80% are on schedule. With the city plan as our guide, Edmonton is planning for and building a city that will be home to 1 million more people. Sustainability and taking care of our environment are top of mind when it comes to the infrastructure improvements. I'm pleased to be launching this year's construction season at one of the projects that speak to our city plan so directly, the Blatchford Redevelopment Project, and it's in the ward of Odemin. This space is in the midst of a transformation. We're building Blatchford, a new sustainable neighborhood close to the core of our city. Just east of me, we continue to extend the metro line, first into Blatchford, with plans ultimately to extend it to the city limits adjacent to St. Albert. And to the north, we're doing critical work on Yellowhead Trail to ensure that people and goods can continue to move efficiently and safely into and through Edmonton. All of this city building work is transforming Edmonton into the city envisioned in the city plan. City building is a long game. It takes patience and vision, and it means we have to hold steady. We invest now knowing that the payoff will come down the road. The short-term payoff is jobs. The medium term is economic recovery. Long-term, we get to live in the city of Edmonton, in the city that Edmontonians told us they want to. Here in Blatchford, the vision is to create one of the world's largest sustainable communities. It will be home to up to 30,000 Edmontonians. We are on our way to achieving this ambitious goal. The first stage of this neighborhood aims to use 100% renewable energy, be carbon neutral, and empower its residents to pursue a range of sustainable lifestyle choices. Again, this is just one of 268 projects that we have on the books for this construction season. We're building Edmonton to ensure it's a place that people want to live, a place that feels like home. And through the Building Great Neighborhoods program, we continue with neighborhood renewal. It's underway or continues on 12 neighborhoods this year, with construction starting in Garneau, Malmo Plains, Lorelei, and Calder, and it continues in Alberta Avenue, Kenora, West Jasper Place, Central McDougall, Highlands, Inglewood, Strathcona, Eastwood Elmwood, and Grandview Heights. So you may see work happening out your front door. That is what it takes to construct safe, attractive communities that last. Great neighborhoods are the building blocks of a great city. We know that many Edmontonians are working from home or spending more time at home than usual these days, and we've made efforts to ensure people have ample notice about the work that's being done in their neighborhoods, and our crews realize the impact they can have in our communities. We're building Edmonton to ensure it's a place where people feel like they belong. Downtown, the work of revitalizing both ends of Jasper Avenue continues. Work on Imagine Jasper from 109th to 111th Street began in February and is expected to be completed this fall. This community-led initiative recognizes that while Jasper Avenue is an important corridor for moving people in and out of the core, it is also a densely populated neighborhood home to many thousands of Edmontonians. Their main street should be safe, inviting, and vibrant. Also downtown, construction will soon start on Phase 2 of Kinitsinawa Park as part of the Quarters Downtown redevelopment. Parks like this are a critical ingredient in bringing our vision for the Quarters to life. We're building Edmonton to ensure it's a place where people have the opportunities to thrive. We're grateful to have received $115 million from the government of Alberta through the Municipal Stimulus Program. This is funding that will be used to upgrade rural and industrial roads, build more affordable housing, improve parks and playgrounds, and plant 3,000 trees this year through the tree canopy expansion. We are grateful to the province for this additional funding and grateful for the connections that it will strengthen. We're building Edmonton to ensure it's a place where people can easily access everything that makes it great. This year, we'll see work happening on major road expansions and LRT expansions. Construction begins on the Terwilliger Drive expansion, which will create a safe, efficient transportation system that will offer choices to multiple modes of transportation. Construction will continue on the Yellowhead Trail Freeway conversion. The upgrade is designed to improve safety, capacity, and level of service improvements by the end of 2027. Progress on the Valley Line West is continuing this year. We have our contractor, Marigold Infrastructure Partners, on board. This year, they will lay the groundwork for this project that will ultimately connect the Valley Line Southeast for a 27-kilometer line running from Millwoods to Lewis Farms. On Valley Line Southeast, Transed is in the final stages of construction with all roadworks underway, including final reconstruction and paving. They're working towards opening the line in late 2021. And finally, as I mentioned earlier, the Metro Line extension from Nate to Blatchford continues this year with utility work, installation of trackway, as well as work on the stations, platforms, and utility buildings. In addition to the construction activities, it's important for us to maintain and support infrastructure that we have in place. Our city crews are out repairing potholes, inspecting and washing bridges, and maintaining many different types of open space infrastructure for our Edmontonians to enjoy. We're doing seasonal maintenance on our spray parks, and they will be turned on by the end of June. And I'm happy to report that since January of 2021, city crews have completed more than 84,000 asphalt repairs compared to the 79,000 asphalt repairs completed around the same time last year. Last week alone, crews filled more than 14,000 potholes. Through all of this important work, we're providing stability for Edmontonians during an unpredictable time. When we invest in building Edmonton, we invest in our region's businesses and we create jobs. I know this past year has been far from normal for us all, and I want to thank you for your understanding and patience as we begin our construction season. We know that construction work can be disruptive. We encourage Edmontonians to plan their routes ahead of time. Our traffic disruption map lays out road and access closures due to construction. We're continuing to build Edmonton to enable a better life for all Edmontonians. The future will be safer, the future will be greener, the future will be smoother. If you're interested in seeing all of the city-led construction projects on the books this year, I encourage you to visit building.edmonton.ca for more details. With that, I'm happy to take any questions that folks have. Thank you.
We will now open the call to questions from the media. As I call out your name, please unmute yourself and ask your question. We'll start with one question from each reporter and then see how we're doing on time, but we'll likely be able to get to a second round if needed. CTV, did you want to ask your question? CTV, did you want to ask your question? Okay. Dustin Cook from the Edmonton Journal, would you like to ask your question?
Yes, thank you. Hi, Adam. I'm wondering, with all this work starting now before the spring capital adjustments at the end of the month, is there any concern that these would be affected by the MSI cuts from the province in the last budget, or are these going forward and those cuts may affect other projects on the books?
Thanks, Dustin. Great to hear you. We provided an update to Council a while ago when we learned of the MSI cuts, and what we identified is on the basis of how those cuts would be rolled out by the province, that this 4-year capital budget cycle would be maintained the way it is. So when those announcements were made, we actually did the analysis, and the biggest impact that we're going to realize is in the next 4-year budget cycle, which will be 23 to 26. So for this 4-year budget cycle, the 2019 to 2022, we're in good shape to complete all the planned projects. I'll also add that the infusion of the municipal stimulus program has actually provided a little bit more in terms of projects that we were able to complete based on that provincial grant. There will be an impact based on the MSI reductions, but again, I think that's more of a 2023 to 2026 impact.
Sarah Ryan from Global, did you have a question?
I do. Hi, Adam. Can you talk to us? People have been eagerly anticipating the opening of the Valley Line Southeast to Town Center. Can you talk to us a little bit more about what still remains to be done? Obviously, we can see it taking shape. What is happening now and what's left?
Thanks for the question. That project is a project that actually the City of Edmonton has hired a consortium. It's a P3, so we've transferred all concept planning, design, build, operations, and maintain functions to this proponent. So the onus is on them to deliver. What remains this year is they need to finish the construction components. I mentioned that a bit in my notes. So they're finishing that, and then there's a commissioning testing component that they have to work through to ensure that the system is running as intended. So those are the two big tasks that are remaining for this group to get that line into service again. Finishing the construction that remains, and then turning it into commissioning and testing to ensure that the system is operating as intended.
Dustin, did you have another question?
I do. Thank you. On that topic of the Valley Line Southeast, Adam, you said in your remarks they're working toward opening the line in late 2021. Is there any more concrete timelines than that, and how confident are you that that will be met?
So in terms of schedule, it's again Transed's schedule that they would provide the time frame in which that would be open for service. At this point, what we've got is that it would be late in 2021. My confidence, what I would say is that there's a lot of work to do, and it's on them to make sure that they get that work done. One thing we won't do is jeopardize quality and service requirements, and so we'll make sure that they get this work done to the satisfaction of Edmontonians and make sure that it's operating as intended.
Sarah, did you have another question you wanted to ask?
Sure, let's talk Blatchford. What's happening there right now and what's next there?
So they're into stage one. We've got 3 builders that are on board, currently constructing homes for Edmontonians. They're in stage 1. There's prep work going into stage 2. So work will continue preparing the area for stage 2 development, and we're currently looking at potentially continuing with the existing builders or future builders or other builders for the next stage. So I believe there's 7 families that have made their way into the Blatchford site, which is fantastic, and it's great to see that Blatchford is being developed. The district energy system is operational, and just this past week at Utility Committee, it still needs council's approval, but Utility Committee approved the next stage of the district energy system. So that work will continue as well. So all things are progressing well in Blatchford in terms of building homes for Edmontonians. I will note that within this site, there's what we're projecting is 30,000 Edmontonians within this footprint, which is right in line with the city plan in terms of building a more dense urban form connected to LRT, providing green choices for folks that will live in Blatchford, which are all consistent with what we're trying to accomplish with city plan.
Dustin, did you have any other questions?
I can leave it there. Thank you.
Great. Sarah, did you have any more?
If we can get any kind of update on the Yellowhead, if there's anything Adam can add there.
On Yellowhead, we're continuing to widen or finish up the widening work that happened between the river, Beverly Bridge, and essentially 66th Street. It ends just before that. The other thing that's happening is we just awarded or we're in the process of awarding a tender for the Fort Road improvements that were planned as part of the project. So that work will start this year, and we're also starting work on 149th Street, the stretch between 149th Street to 156th Street, a bit to St. Albert Trail, sorry. So that work will get underway this year as well. And design work, or the planning and design work for 127th Street and other improvements continues, and And again, our goal is to have the Yellowhead Trail project completed by 2027.
Is there anything further?
So that's good, thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone for attending. That concludes the event.
Great, thank you.